what made this an attractive opportunity to you, Scott?
I've done a lot of traveling in my life. I've actually never been to Ireland, so one, I'm really excited to go over there. I think in traveling and seeing other things, you don't just have a good time, but you learn a lot. I think it's an incredible educational experience. I think our players will benefit from it, both from a football standpoint and from a personal standpoint. When they laid out all the details of the trip and the things that our players are going to be able to do, I thought it made a lot of sense. I think it's going to be a special week for us to go over there. It fit in with our schedule real well from a football standpoint, but more than that, I'm excited to give our players the opportunity to experience another culture in another country, and I think it can really broaden the horizons of what they think and help them going forward.
Is there anything you're particularly curious or interested to see in Ireland?
I've traveled a lot in Europe. I'd love to see the country of Ireland, actually, Galway Bay and Cork. I'd like to go all over the country. I don't know if I'll get time to play golf or not, but certainly seeing some opens and other things over there, and would like to try that. Every single Irish person I've ever met has been one of the most delightful and friendly people I've ever met, so I can't wait to get inundated in that.
Sort of a unique setup being week 0 and a league opponent, and obviously overseas. How does all of that sort of line up? And I said, well, I sort of before the season started that week 0 was something you thought might be good for the program.
Well, week 0 offers some challenges, and I think it offers some benefits too if it's handled the right way. We'll start practice a week earlier than other schools based on the fact that we're playing a week earlier. We're going to have to manage that well. It's going to give us another bye week early in the season to try to improve after this game. It's a league game, which is a little unique, but it doesn't hurt to get one of those out of the way either. So from a football standpoint, I think it makes sense. But like I said, giving us and our players the opportunity to go experience this, I think had a bigger part in our decision.
Was your first reaction, yeah, let's do it, or did you have to think about it?
My first reaction was, yeah, let's do it. But then we had to make sure a lot of logistics and other things fit in. Everything's been fallen into place. These good people that showed up have done everything and bent over backwards to try to accommodate us and everything that we're asking for, or to try to make the trip work. So I'm grateful to them and grateful for the opportunity.
Scott, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but how early do you go out for something like this? Do you go out and it's like a whole trip and you do all your practices out there for a week?
I'm trying to get through bye week right now. We're going to set that up. As much time as we can spend over there, particularly with a week off after, I think we're going to try to. I want our kids to get over there and be able to experience Ireland.
Have you talked to Diedrich Mills about this? I think he scored the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, it's funny. Diedrich has been a part of this game. Sean Beckton and Travis Fisher on our staff have been part of this game in Ireland as members of the UCF coaching staff. So I was able to bounce a lot of things off them, and they all three raved about their experience over there.
So what do you want to get done in the bye week? I mean, what is your objective as the leader of the program?
We need to get we talked this morning about getting better at fundamentals and basic things. I think we were all extremely disappointed after the last game. I probably watched both sides of the ball 6 times. Offensively, we were close. I don't think we played poorly. We just made little mistakes here and there that you can't make. Our first drive, we busted on a couple plays on the last first down, or we should have scored on that drive. Second drive, we had it down there again and took a sack. Wish I'd have had us in a different play on first down there. We can't take a sack down there. It cost us points. Third drive, we had it down to the 4 and had a penalty. And even our 2-minute drive, we got the drive started well, but jumped off sides at receiver before the ball was snapped. Yeah, you can't do those things in any game. You definitely can't do them on the road against a good team. But some of the fundamentals, just basics of blocking, being in the right place on routes, we're going back to the basics with that. And same thing on defense. I kind of had the impression coming off field we got pushed around a little up front. When you watch the tape, that didn't happen. We just misfit some things. Guys were expecting somebody to be in a gap from the secondary, from linebacker, and 4 or 5 or 6 times they weren't there, and they turned into big plays. And we can't do well a lot of the time, but not consistently enough, and that's what happened Saturday. So we're back to basics this week.
Are you expecting to get Wandale back at some point this season?
Yeah, Wandale will be fine.
Scott, about this trip to Ireland, how much of a selling point will this be to recruits? Obviously, it's one of the part of the package, I'm guessing, to have somebody come to Nebraska.
Yeah, I'm sure all the guys we're recruiting for this class and for the next class will both see this and see the opportunity that they have to come to the University of Nebraska, but the added opportunity of being able to travel and spend some time in another country and get this experience. So we're definitely going to use it, talk to our guys about it, talk to recruits about it, and if they're as excited as me, I think it'll do a lot of help for us.
How's the chemistry on offense? Do you feel like everybody kind of gelling together?
Yeah, we're still coming with chemistry. We're still playing a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that haven't started a lot, particularly on the offensive line, and getting that all dialed in together is important improvement that we need to make. Obviously, we're still young in a couple other places too. We still need some weapons to continue to develop, so we have more options. But again, when you watch the tape, we had opportunities. We had opportunities to score and make that a different game, and we didn't do it. And that comes down to consistency, and I think consistency will come with more experience.
Besides the lack of experience you just referred to, Scott, what would you say your primary challenges are right now as a play caller?
That's a tough one to answer because I kind of know what they are, but I don't want to talk too much about it. We don't generate enough big plays to make mistakes and not be able to sustain drives. So we need to keep doing the things we need to do so we can generate more plays. And in the meantime, we got to limit the mistakes so that we don't stop drives ourselves.
How do you think that Brock Gano played in the second half, and is he a guy who you envision as sort of a starter going forward?
Brock came in and played hard. I think that move was made because of a couple protections that we didn't pick up on the interior of our line. We'll see what we're going to do going forward, but was pleased with Brock coming in and answering the bell. He definitely came in and played hard. So this bye week will give us a little bit of opportunity to gauge who gives us the best chance. And in an ideal situation, you have a rotation anyway. And with more depth, we'll be able to rotate more guys.
With the structure of a bye week, how much of that can you do? I know guys are competing every week in practice, but are there certain spots that you look for, particularly on a bye week, to try to generate more competition like that?
Yeah, we're going to get a lot more good-on-good practice this week than we usually do. Game week practices are usually on scout teams, so we get the looks we want. This will give us an opportunity to see a lot more guys against the good guys on defense and vice versa. We're also going to give the young guys a lot of reps here and see if any of them are ready to come out of redshirt and give us 4 games here at the end of the year and provide some help to us. So this is a big opportunity for a lot of guys. Practice today. We're going to practice tomorrow morning, and then one more time Friday, and then we'll start getting ready for the next one.
Just to clarify, Scott, you were okay with the way your team played in a physical manner?
No, that's painting with too broad a stroke. I had the impression watching the game from the sideline that we got pushed around up front on both sides. I don't think that happened. Particularly I thought our D-line held up pretty well. They got reached on a few wide zone stretches and shouldn't have. But the majority of the big runs and busted runs were guys from the second level or third level not fitting in the gaps or being late to gaps and creating those things. And that's just detail, telling the guys if the team expects you to be somewhere, you need to be there. And a couple busting coverages and 3 or 4 of those led to a lot of yards in that game and definitely led to the points in the first half.
Any particular freshmen that you're most interested in looking at here over the next year?
Any and all of them, honestly. I think there's a bunch, so it'd be hard for me to pick out just a couple. It'd be great to have a couple of the O-linemen, Piper, Ben Hart, and those guys start to give us some help. Some skill guys. Ramir Johnson still has a couple games to play in. I'm expecting him to help us down the stretch. And guys on defense, too. You might see a bunch of the guys later in the year. Defensive linemen like Mosai Newsome and Ty Robinson. And, again, there's too many to count. But if those guys are ready to play, we can seriously use the help and the depth right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.